Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. My fellow Americans, we come together again to comfort each other in this time of tragedy, to comfort the families who again have lost loved ones. When you voted me into office, I was committed and still remain committed to protecting our freedoms, protecting our citizens, and preserving our rights. I am still committed to do that. You are here tonight to seek answers. I too am concerned with the growing hostility, the growing violence in our nation. We are becoming a culture of violence. Who would like to see a culture of peace throughout our land? That is so important for us as family members, as members of our workplace, as members within our community. And I am committed to that tonight. In honor of the memory of those fallen children. We all grieve for the families as in our nation. On that fateful day recently, December 14th, 2012, Adam Lanza reached into his arsenal of weapons and over 1,000 rounds of ammunition and slaughtered 6 wonderful teachers and 20 innocent lives, small children who were the future not only of their family, but of this country. This is the second worst tragedy to happen to young children in American history. The first was in 1927 when Andrew Hone, a education treasurer, used bombs to blow up an elementary school. He didn't use firearms, he used bombs. And he slaughtered 44 innocent lives and injured 58. I contend that gun control is not the issue. I am committed to preserve the Second Amendment right because George Washington, he said that a free man deserves and requires the right to bear arms. Thomas Jefferson said, the reason why we have the Second Amendment is to protect citizens against a tyrannical government. Let us put this aside. Let us look at the root cause. What are the factors that we failed these children? What are the failure points? My staff and cabinet, we have worked 24/7 to identify what is the root cause and how can we address the root cause. It is within ourselves as citizens, as community leaders, as individuals to understand the importance of mutual respect so that we do not see the escalation of frustration, of emotional and mental illness to escalate into such tragedies that are dotting our horizon with such darkness. The bright spot is that the American people have resolve, they have ingenuity, they have optimism, and together we can make a difference. It's not about gun control, it's about what we could do as leaders. Here in this United States, we have a gold mine of leaders. Right here in Toastmasters, we have people that are dedicated to the craft of compromise, through dialogue, through leadership modeling, through mentoring. This, I believe, is an answer to the problem. The factors that we have identified in reducing workplace violence, which Larry Barton, who will be our first guest speaker for this program, he has identified that there are 2 workplace murders every week. And that is increasing exponentially 50% every year, year over year. It needs to stop. When we looked at the factors, we looked at counseling. Mr. Lanza's mother, Nancy, 52, she perished that day. She loved her son who had a history of mental illness. Those of you, and I've shared that in my family, we have had mental illness. You do not run up to the mountaintops and say, my loved one has mental illness. Many homes are shrouded in depression, burying themselves in a parallel world of pretend. How could this happen to me, my family? They need support. We need to provide that support. I recommend that we start this month. We will have intake folks. My staff is committed. We have staff. We have infrastructure to allow you to participate, to build and mold these programs, to identify leadership campaigns to empower and support those families. Conflict management in the schools to help us identify and to neutralize conflict. And respectful interaction, where we will have these free classes to bring in people to help us so that we have plans for them. As Kapala mentioned, the universal law of sowing and reaping. If we sow seeds of love, we reap love. If we sow hate, we will reap hate. The Bible says that, and again, we have universal translations of this. The Bible says that if you live in peace, the God of peace and love will be with you. I am dedicated to work with our citizens to create a peaceful environment. Join with me today to sign up for this program. I would like to turn this over now to you. I apologize, we only have time for one question that I will take. Who has a question for me regarding this initiative? Instead of gun control, we're looking at the root cause to provide the tools, funding, in order to stop the violence in our society. Who has a question? Thank you, Madhu.
So, trying to change people's minds is one thing, and there's a lot of steps that we're doing for that. But are there any practical steps that we're also taking to prevent such as incidents from occurring in the future on campus?
Thank you, Madhu. The question is, do we have practical steps to curb this trend going forward? Statistically, the Brookings Institute says that the school place is still the safest place that we have. There are rare incidents, and again, we will be working with the administration so that we will make sure staff is prepared to look for early warning signs, and the support will trickle down to each family member. Thank you for that question. If you'd like to discuss further, I will be available. Again, I leave you with the words that Martin Luther King gave us, saying that if we live together as brothers in peace, or we will perish as fools. Thank you, and God bless America.